You might have heard algebraic structure in groups, rings, and fields. But let us look at what itself is algebraic structure. So algebraic structure is nothing but a set of three things. Algebraic structure first has a non-empty set. A non-empty set. Say the set A, which is not empty. The second thing you need to have is a set of operators, collection of operators. The third thing you need to have is a finite set of identities which these operators follow. So finite set of identities which these operators follow. So these identities is called axioms. So let us now discuss what is like now is a field is a algebraic structure. So field has a non-empty set and has two operations associated with it, an operation collection of operations associated with it, and we have a set of identities. So let us now look at field. So field is nothing but a non-empty set F and a collection of two operators. Let us say the two operators are plus and multiplication. So see, this field is an algebraic structure. So we have a set, which here the set A, the set is non-empty set is F, and this set should be non-empty. So we have a set, we have a collection of operations. The operations here is addition and multiplication. The third thing which we should have is a set of identities. So the set of identities for field is called field axioms. So the third third thing which we needed is the set of identities. I'll call it as field axioms. So let us look at field axioms now. So we it is a set of collection of finite set of identities. So there are two operators. So each operator will have some set of identities. Addition will have some set of identities, and multiplication will have some set of identities. And notice that you can use these operators in combination. Like you can add two things and multiply it to the third thing. So there could be a combination of the two operators, and there could be properties on that also. So in general, we will set the identities for addition, identities for multiplication, and identities for some combination of addition and multiplication. So let us discuss the identities for addition, and let us denote it with the symbol A. A stands here for the addition. So the first property of addition is closure. So the set we are considering here is the set F, and the two operations are addition and subtraction. So this is the field here. Field is an algebraic structure with two operators and some set of axioms or identities. So the first identity for addition is closure. So you take any two elements from this set, non-empty set F, and suppose you add these two, and suppose you use the first operator, like which is the addition. So if you add the two, then whatever the result should be, this set that should be again in the same set F. If it is again in the same set F, we say that F is closed. So it is closed under the first operation, which is the addition. So let us look at the second addition property. So the second addition property is associativity. So this was the first property, second property, associativity. So you take any three numbers from this set F for every x, y, z, You can choose any of the three numbers. You can take the same numbers also, because it's the for every. So you take any three numbers, and however you associate uh, the addition, the result will be same. So if I add x plus y and then add it to z, this will be same as x plus, I'll do the addition of y plus z first and then add it to x. So this is for every x plus y z, this is true. So this is the second identity. The third identity which we are going to talk about is the commutative law. So take any two elements from this set, and however you add them, like if you add x plus y or you add y plus x, the result will be the same. The fourth identity for addition is existence of an identity element. What identity element here, it means that with respect to addition. So if I add this identity element to any element, you will get the same element back. So what I mean to say that there exists some zero belongs to this set F, such that for every x you take from this set and you add a zero to it, you will get the same number back. And yeah, you can do it the other way around also, which is like commutative. So now the fifth property of addition is the existence of inverse. So we are talking about addition here. So this we are talking about additive inverse. So every element in the set F has an inverse. So take every element x belongs to F. There, for every element x, there exists some minus x belongs to F, and such that x plus, you add this minus x element, you will get the identity element back. And since it is commutative, you can add minus x to x also. So the thing to notice here is that this element, the inverse element, is unique for every x belongs to F. So suppose you take one in this, suppose one x belongs to F, so there will be only one element of minus one belongs to F. There will not be two inverses. So these are five properties of addition. Now similarly, there are five properties of multiplication also. So five properties, you can say identities, or you can say axioms of multiplication. So we'll say the first property, we'll call it M1. So similarly, we'll say the M1 is closure here also. So you take any two elements from this set, non-empty set F, and suppose you multiply them. Now the operator is multiplication, so we are using multiplication. So x times y should belongs to the same set F. If this happens, we call the set F is closed under multiplication. So the second property is associativity. So this is associativity for multiplication. So now here also you take three elements, x, y, z belongs to F, and however you multiply two elements to the third element, it should not matter how you associate them. So this is same as this result. And this is true for every choice of x, y, z you select from the set F. So we have associativity, we have closure. The next thing we will take up is the next property, which is the third property for multiplication. It is we have associated commutativity. So you take any two elements from the set F, and if you multiply first element to the second element, it should be same as the second element to the first element. This is true for every choice of xy from the set F. So the fourth property is the existence of, similar to this, it is just the same as for addition. So existence of an identity element for multiplication. So the identity element for addition was 0, but here if you, here it is with multiplication, so here it is different. It is actually for every x belongs to f. If you multiply it with 1, you say you will get the same element back. So but we'll write it in the proper format that for every x belongs to f, there exists a unique, oh no, there exists uh, for every x belongs to x such that you multiply x times 1 is x, and this here the identity element is 1 which belongs to the f. Now similarly, the fifth property for multiplication is the existence of inverse of every element. So existence of inverse of every element. So if you multiply inverse of an element to element, you should get back the identity element. So if you take x and if you multiply it to x inverse, you should get 1. So but here if you, if suppose if we take uh, suppose x equals to 0 belongs to f, then we land it in a trouble, because 0 times anything you multiply by 0, you'll never get 1. So we will change our definition a little bit. We will consider the set f, and we will remove this the singleton set 0 from, and we will call it f star. So from, so you choose any element x. For every element x belongs to F star, there exists a unique element, a unique element x inverse belongs to the same set such that x times x inverse is equals to 1, and since we have commutative here, so x inverse times x is also 1. So 5 properties of addition are over and 5 properties of multiplication are over. Now we'll look at properties which combine multiplication and addition. So what could be these properties? So a good example is distributive laws. So because distributive is like you distribute the additions, multiplication over addition, and I'll give you an example. So first example is that you take 3 elements from this set F, and you uh, distribute this multiplication over this addition. So this is equals to x times y plus x times z. So you can say that this is left distributive. So this axiom should be followed. The second distributive law should be right distributive. So right. So you again take x, y, z, and suppose you say x plus y, and you multiply this z from the right. So what you'll get is x times z plus y times z. So these are the two properties which use a combination of addition and multiplication. So yeah, these 5 properties of addition and 5 properties of multiplication and uh, two properties two properties of distributive. So in distributive laws of multiplication over addition. So in all you have a set of 12 properties and these are called field axioms. So that's it. You have defined a non-empty set F. You have given two operators for the algebraic structure. So here, and you have given a set of 12 identities. So that itself gives you the algebraic structure for a field. So for example, a real number is a field. An example is a real number is a field with respect to addition and multiplication because you can check if every property of these 12 properties are satisfied by real numbers. And another example is this Z is not a field because if you take this multiplicative inverse property, the property M5, if you take suppose 2, then there is no 1 by 2 doesn't belong to the set Z, which is set of integers. Hence, Z is, and even if one property is not satisfied, you don't get a field. Yeah, that's it.